Wrath of the Seven Seas, the balance of two worlds. Arthur Curry, Aquaman, has settled into life as both king of Atlantis and father to his young son. Though ruling beside Mera, Arthur still feels torn between his Atlantean duties and his longing for freedom on the surface world. This inner conflict mirrors a fragile peace between the oceans and humanity. The return of Black Manta. David Kane, aka Black Manta, presumed dead after his last defeat, resurfaces with scarred armor and a vengeance burning stronger than ever. He now wields an ancient Atlantean relic recovered from the ruins of Necrus, the Lost Kingdom, granting him power beyond mortal limits. The Awakening of Necrus. Necrus, a legendary black city, said to appear only when ocean's rage begins to stir. Its reemergence destabilizes ocean currents, causing earthquakes and tsunamis across coastal nations. The reawakening threatens both land and sea, setting the stage for global catastrophe. A council divided. The Atlantean Council convenes, with leaders of the Seven Kingdoms split over how to respond. Some demand war against the surface, blaming humanity for triggering Necrus' awakening with pollution and climate change. Arthur must defend humanity, straining his credibility as king. Mera's warning. Mera, sensing an unnatural magical surge tied to Necrus, warns Arthur that its return is not random. It was summoned. Her suspicions lead her to Black Manta, whose hatred has now turned into a crusade for ultimate domination of the seas. Almes Erdikielios. Arthur's estranged brother ORM, Ocean Master, remains imprisoned but reveals knowledge of Necrus. He claims their father warned him of the Black King, who rules Necrus, a tyrant who seeks to enslave all kingdoms. With no choice, Arthur frees ORM to aid him. Surface world in panic. On land, governments panic as Necrus' reappearance disrupts trade routes and floods major cities. The U.S. military considers launching strikes against Atlantis, believing them responsible. Arthur struggles to prevent war between surface and sea. The Black King emerges. From Necrus rises King Karshan, the Shark Lord, an ancient warlord banished millennia ago by Atlantis. He unites with Black Manta, offering him command of an army of abyssal creatures in exchange for Atlantis' fall. Their alliance becomes the greatest threat Arthur has ever faced: raid on Atlantis. Black Manta and Karshan lead a devastating assault on Atlantis. The city shields collapse under their combined forces, forcing Arthur and Mera into a desperate defense. During the chaos, Manta personally challenges Arthur, nearly killing him before retreating with Atlantean prisoners. The prisoners of Necrus. Among the captured is Vulko, Arthur's trusted advisor. In Necrus, prisoners are drained of their life force to fuel Karshan's dark magic. This ritual begins strengthening Necrus' foundations, ensuring it remains a permanent fixture in the seas. Journey to the Abyss. Arthur, Mera, and ORM embark on a perilous mission to reach Necrus through the Abyssal Trench. Along the way, they must negotiate with the Trench monsters, now sentient after their evolution in Aquaman 2. ORM's ruthlessness contrasts Arthur's compassion, creating tension. Secrets of the Black Relic. Mera uncovers the true power behind Black Manta's relic. It is the crown of Leviathan, once forged to control ocean life itself. If fully awakened, it can bend even Atlantis to Manta's will. This makes Manta not just a personal enemy, but a global threat. Father and son. Arthur struggles with visions of his son's future, fearing the child may inherit the burden of war. A heart-to-heart with Mera reveals that their child represents the hope of uniting surface and sea. This strengthens Arthur's resolve to protect both worlds. The betrayal. ORM betrays Arthur mid-mission, striking a deal with Karshan to claim Atlantis' throne. However, Karshan mocks ORM's ambitions, imprisoning him as well. Ironically, ORM finds himself betrayed, realizing only Arthur values his redemption. The battle for Necrus. Arthur and Mera lead a coalition of Atlanteans, brine warriors, entrench allies in an all-out siege of Necrus. Massive underwater battles erupt, with Leviathan war beasts and abyssal creatures clashing in cinematic spectacle. Showdown with Black Manta. Arthur finally faces Black Manta in a brutal duel within Necrus' throne room. The fight is personal, emotional, and savage. Arthur destroys the crown of Leviathan, severing Manta's control, but Manta refuses to surrender, fighting to the death. Karshan's wrath. With Manta defeated, Karshan reveals his true power, transforming into a colossal, shark-like titan. The oceans quake as Arthur battles him, using the full might of the Trident of Atlan. Mera aids with hydrokinetic fury, while ORM redeems himself by sacrificing his life to weaken Karshan. The fall of Necrus. Arthur channels the Trident's power, shattering Necrus' core and causing the Black City to collapse into the trench. Karshan is dragged into the abyss, vanishing forever. Necrus' fall restores balance to the seas, but at great cost to Atlantis, a king's burden. Arthur mourns ORM's death, recognizing his brother's final act as heroic. Atlantis begins rebuilding, while Arthur reflects on what it means to be king, not ruling with dominance, but protecting all who dwell above and below the seas. A new dawn. In the final scenes, Arthur relinquishes part of his kingly power to a council representing all 7 kingdoms, ensuring a fair balance of leadership. On the surface, Arthur plays with his son, finally embracing both halves of his life. The film ends with him gazing at the horizon, half land, half ocean, symbolizing his eternal role as the bridge between 2 worlds.